Good afternoon and happy Friday. We're so glad to have you guys join us today. I am one of the hosts for Financial Sins. I am Renata Gardner, and I'm so happy to welcome you to today's show.
Well, welcome, Renetta. Good to
Thank
see you
you.
today. I'm Tanya Scott Pilcher, the insurance professor, and I am here with our other co-host, Miss Madam Flo.
I'm not a madam, y'all. Don't get that wrong now.
That's right.
Yes.
It's a
Mad.
she
You know what a madam is.
Correct that as Mad Flow.
Mad
This
Flo.
is mad flow. I'm not crazy, but I am mad about making a difference for life of others through financial literacy. So happy to be here. Hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving because I had a fantastic Thanksgiving. So I hope you all had a great one as well. So happy to be here today.
And speaking of Thanksgiving, you're absolutely right. That is a great segue into today's show. So we all were enjoying the
Family.
Thanksgiving, enjoying family. I was fortunate to be out in the mountains in Asheville, North Carolina, and we were taking lots and lots of pictures, right? So we're looking at the pictures, and I sent a text to my friend saying, "Wait a minute, you guys did not tell me how I actually look in these pictures." and and that kind of started our journey into fitness in today's show. And everybody knows that we stay in competition. It's a friendly competition to hold each other accountable. We said earlier, Mad Flo is the hula hoop queen, and she has this wonderful routine that she does. And we'll talk more about that as well. And we just want to be excited about this show. We're holding up our mugs today. We always bring a mug or two.
I'm
This
unstoppable.
says, Tanya's unstoppable. And I always say, let your faith be bigger than your fear. These are things, once you do those things, you are definitely unstoppable.
Absolutely. And so today we have both of our coaches on today. So Renetta and I have been, walking, and we've kind of slacked off walking because the holiday season comes around. And so, of course, there's lots and lots of food. And what has been happening for the last year or two is that when she joins something, I join it. When I join something, she joins it. But I am a vegetarian.
I am not.
And so I make it really hard for her, And so this time, what we decided to do is that we would take our separate coaches and see exactly what our results will be in our own little world, So I will have my holistic coach that takes me through a vegan, vegetarian style diet and her regimen. And I know that's yours because I've been with your coach before too.
Exactly. So my coach has a different approach. We're allowed to eat, but she also approaches things from a mental aspect too. Mind right. And we go through a cleanse, and I'm in that process. So we're excited to introduce these ladies. So I'm bringing in my coach, Coach Fit Lita.
And I'm bringing in my coach, Sister Sheba is what I call her, but she is the wellness mama.
So, ladies, welcome to the show. It's amazing that Tanya and I actually know both of you. I met Tanya Sheba through this Tanya, and actually Shalita and I worked together previously at the same company, and so that's amazing. And that Tanya was actually on her program previously. So, ladies, let's
Twice.
let's
I did it twice.
So, ladies, let's get started. We'll start with you, Sheba, and your wellness. Just tell us a little bit, because we want to ask questions of both of you today. Matt Flo always has lots of questions, so we want to ask questions and have a conversation today. So I'll ask you, Sheba, first. Tell us a little bit about your why. My coach is always about the why. So we're going to start with you, Coach Sheba. Tell us a little bit about your why.
Well, thank you. Thank you. First of all, thank you, ladies, for having me today. As both of you know, I am always excited to talk about wellness. It's probably like three major things that if you ask me about, it's on. The first is health and nutrition. The next is home births, and the other is homeschool. So those are my three things. And so, I like to share with people that when I introduce myself, that I'm literally the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. Um, and I say that because I'm a wife, a mother of six, a homeschooler, a certified holistic health coach, and everything else in between. That's what I do. A Lyft driver to my children, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. And my journey, if you will, to this path that I'm on, and that I've been on for over 30 years now, started when I was a senior in college. And at the time, what was going on with me, and by nobody's stretch of the imagination have I ever really had an issue with weight until I hit menopause. That's a whole nother story. But in my senior year in college, what was going on with me is that I was just real sickly all the time. I suffered with chronic candida, chronic colds and flu, fatigue, and just a whole lot of other things that were going on with me. And really, I always like to say, kind of by accident, I stumbled upon a plant-based nutrition, because what happened was that, my roommate and I, we cooked every day. We were trying to be cost effective, and the meat got a little bit too expensive. And so I personally started gradually taking animal protein out of my diet. And when I did that, one of the things, and chronic headaches, I suffered with migraines since I was in high school. And one of the things that I immediately noticed when I started taking the animal protein out of my diet and the dairy, was that I didn't have the headaches anymore. I didn't have a lot of that mucus buildup that I had that was part of what was contributing to the yeast and the candida that I was, experiencing chronically. And so it was almost as if everything kind of like just stopped. And I was like, whoa, what is this thing? And I was so naive about what I was doing that I didn't even know there was a word for what I was doing until one day, one of my classmates was like, "Oh, so you're trying to be a vegetarian?" And I was like, "Oh, is that what that is?" That's how naive I was. And so, me being the research hog that I am, I started doing research on, plant-based nutrition. And when I started, I was a very strict vegan. I was one of those vegans that didn't even eat honey. That's how strict I was.
Wow.
And over the years, and 6 children later, I loosened up a little bit. So now, I am on a plant-based diet. We've raised all 6 of our children on that diet. And for me, it has been health saving, to be honest. Awesome. I can honestly say at 55 years old today that I don't suffer with any of the chronic illnesses that are definitely run rampant in my family, just like they do a lot of African American families. You name the disease, someone in my family has it. And I've just been blessed, and I attribute it to my lifestyle and my diet. But in addition to that, as being part of, so fast forward, about 3 years ago, I partnered with some ladies, and we created an organization called Sister Speak Wellness. And that's the platform that we use because all of us started our journey to health and wellness via the plant-based lifestyle and other, holistic modalities like Reiki, like meditation and yoga, energy work, things like that. And so in partnering together with these ladies, like I said, we created this platform called Sister Speak Wellness. And it's the platform that we share what has worked for us. And to be honest, what has worked for other people. And our whole mission is really we primarily support women of color. And our whole mission is to support women of color in the eradication of metabolic illness. And we know that it can be done through a holistic way of living. So we do focus on holistic plant-based nutrition, but in addition to that, we focus on the 4 pillars of health, which include de-stressing, which include movement, and which includes sleep, which is so very important. And a lot of us don't get enough of, which causes us to go down the rat race of eating things that we have no business eating. So in a nutshell, that's me. That's my life. That's my world. And that's how I, embarked on this journey of wellness.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And happy birthday. So now, Coach Lita, she was having a birthday.
Oh.
So Coach Lita, so tell us about your why and what brought you here. Because again, I said, you and I were in a different world. So, and you may have been on that journey when we were in, part of the corporate culture.
We can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Do you have your computer silenced? Do you have your mute on your computer?
We can't hear you at all. So what we'll do is...
Yep, she's going to go out, come back in.
Come back in, yep. So as she goes out and comes back in, so this is what we're going to tell you guys a little bit more about Tanya and my challenge. Because we have, as she said, we've both been a part of each other's program. I remember years ago, Sister Tanya, we attended an event that you had, and Tanya brought our friends who are called, the posse. All of us were there, and and we had an incredible time there with you. And so we have introduced each other to so many different aspects of health and wellness. So thank you for that. I just remember we had a great weekend.
We had a great weekend because we were in an exclusive residence, and we had all weekend, and we were so very, very green to being vegan, and we enjoyed it and we hated it.
Yeah, you should have seen him, Flo. You should have seen him.
We were like, "What? You want me to eat? You want me to eat what? I don't know, what is this?" But we had a great experience. We had a great time. So I know you've been on this track for years. Coach Lita, can you hear us?
Yes. Can you see me too?
No,
we can't see you. We can hear you now, but we
good Lord. Okay. Fun times with technology today.
Maybe you need to unmute your screen.
I did. So it's doing something really funky today, and not exactly sure, and didn't have no issues with it before, but I will speak.
Go ahead. Let's talk. We're gonna keep working on it.
Let's do it. So thank you so much again for at least having me on this platform, Renata and Tanya. And I actually been able to work with Tanya. I've been able to work with both of them at or my previous employer. So thank you both for allowing me to be on here. But you asked about my journey into getting into health and wellness, and my journey was a little bit different than Sheba's, and I loved that she shared hers. But when I was a little bit younger, I was okay, I guess, with my health or whatnot. And as I gotten older and I had my daughter, and I kind of shared this in my last class, I found out that I had metabolism issues, which was hypothyroidism. And right after having my daughter, I started gaining weight like heavily. I mean, it was crazy. I was trying to do so many different things in order to lose the weight, but could not lose the weight because of that. And so I tried everything. I told Renetta the other day, we tried shots, starvation, taking out all your carbs, everything, and none of that worked. And it did work for a little bit, but it wasn't sustainable. So I'm thankful because I said, you know what, I'm gonna just do the work, and that was working out and doing what I need to do. So thankfully, as I started working out, I was losing the weight, and I had other people ask me, what are you doing? How are you losing this weight? It's falling off. And I just started organically sharing my testimony with others, and they were just ready to jump on. So that's kind of how I started. I started as Phoenix Fitness International. And then I've kind of now just kind of went into more of a consulting role because I have so many things that I enjoy consulting people about: business, health, wellness, fashion, as well as traveling. So it's more of a consulting now. What I do now is the consulting. I start with mind, body, soul, and spirit. I believe we have to do a mental cleanse before you can get into any kind of program. It starts with the mind. That's the fundamentals. So once you've gotten that fundamentals and that foundation set, then you can start building upon that. And so that's what we start. We start with the mind cleanse. And then as we go, then we do a holistic natural cleanse, and then start more into what things and you can put into your body. So I love what I do. I enjoy this. And I'm so excited to see Renetta's results at the end of the 30-day period. And we're going to go full throttle.
One of the things that we have in common is that we have to start with weighing ourselves, and taking our measurements.
Scary. It's really frightening to face it, but we have to, because I think it's really, we look in the mirrors, right?
Yeah.
But to share that with someone else takes courage. So we'll be taking our measurements. I know mine are due by Sunday. And so it's going to be interesting to see what those numbers actually look like.
So the other thing that's beautiful is that you all have a shopping list when people get ready to get started. And so, Shalita, can you tell us what your shopping list consists of when Renetta has to get started?
So she's already started her first week already, and we went through the mind piece of it. So she had some action items that she had to do. That's one thing that I like to do, and I think I take that from corporate America, where you got to get some action items. I have to know that you are doing this with me. You're not alone. So after that first week, then we do the holistic natural cleanse. So I give her items from the grocery store to pick up to do natural cleanse. I am not one to use a lot of supplements and shakes and all of that kind of stuff. I prefer natural, God's green earth things that you can get from your supermarket. And I believe that you can do that. So that's what I gave her, a list of things that she can get. I gave her little parameters, and if she follows those within 5 days, she already will see a cleansing of her body and some results.
Yes. I have my list. I will be shopping. I know everything starts this weekend. And actually, you guys, you think that doing a natural cleanse is going to involve all of these weird things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it actually doesn't. And it's just surprising about how you put those things together,
right?
That actually, allows the benefits of those things to come through. And that's what I like. And that's what I also like about what we did previously with you, Sheba. As we said, Tanya's on one. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to jump on that. And Tanya's like, yeah, I'm going to jump on that. And you find that the way that you prepare foods differently is really part of what is actually a part of that. What do you think about that, Sheba?
Oh, absolutely. And I love what Shalita is saying about the mindset, because absolutely she is right. Everything starts in the mind, even just our making a decision. I just heard something recently from someone that has become my new mentor, and he made a statement about the difference between making a decision and a choice, right? And so in making a decision, you cut off all options of, being able, like, as an example, just using nutrition as an example, when you make a decision to eat in a certain way, or to take a stance and be an advocate for your health, you cut off all other opportunities to do anything different. And so what that means is, what that could look like is, that would look like you take out all the junk that's in your house. You've made it a decision now. When you make a choice, you kind of still give yourself some options, right? So like, you still might keep some of the stuff in your house, because you're making a choice, and you're giving yourself options. And so one of the things about, much like what Shalita was talking about, when we start with the mind, it causes us to decide, hey, do I want to make a change in my life so that my health can be elevated to the next level? Because I joke with Tanya all the time that, I'm really trying to, like, be around here at like 250 years old looking just like this, and I'm serious about that. And that requires making a decision, not making choices, right? And that starts here. And so, as we move forward with making decisions, that's when we really get clear about, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I have to do in order for me to get the result that I'm working to get. And that's where it takes discipline and all of that, to make it happen. I know I done went off on a whole nother tangent on what y'all know how I do.
This is actually good. What we do with Coach Lita, talking about getting your mind right, is affirmations. So we have to do affirmations about our bodies, because it's all about acceptance, right? You have to accept where you are,
Exactly.
Currently, to be able to move forward, to make any types of positive changes.
Exactly. Which is why it is so important to do the measurements, and to do all of that. We in our platform, we start with the cleansing of the body, which is why, we use cleansing, fasting, and detoxes as like a jump start or a precursor to making lifestyle changes. Because it's kind of like the same thing. You want to start with a clear mind, you want to start with a clear body. And so as you do that, knowing where you started is so important, so that when you get to the other side, because sometimes, even if we lost weight, or even if, as an example, a lot of the ladies that go through our programs, one of the main things that they notice is how much more rested they are. And part of why they know that is because part of the survey, if you will, that they take is like what their sleep was like when they got started. And so that's one of the things that they can say, oh, this is different. And so it's important to know where you are, so that when you get to the result, or when you get to the end of that journey, or in y'all's case, the end of that 30 days, even if it's what we call light wins, not necessarily, not all, because not all wins have to be physical, and not all wins are physical. Even those soft wins are equally as important. But if you don't know what they were before, you certainly are not going to be able to celebrate yourself and celebrate the accomplishment of achieving them when you get to the end of the 30 days. So that's so important, so important.
So because so many women have different types of illnesses, heart disease, diabetes, what do you suggest that people ought to do a little differently? Because some people are just not ready to make a drastic change. But if they want to improve their health just somewhat, so that they could, I'm going to say, get off one medication or something, that may be drastic for some, but just to begin to improve it, what can we do?
One of the things that I learned in health school was this concept called crowding in and crowding out, right? And so a lot of times it doesn't take anything. Honestly, a lot of times it really doesn't take anything as drastic as we think it might. Sometimes something as simple as, on our plate, crowding in more green leafy vegetables and crowding out a little bit more animal protein can make a difference. Something simple as that. Something as simple as drinking one more glass of water than you normally drink in the course of a day can make a difference, especially if you're doing that over a period of consistently over a period of time, and maybe adding another cup of water, each week or each day or whatever the case may be. But more than anything, it's about us doing something a little bit different consistently. The key word there is consistency. And
Right.
so to the degree that we, add in or crowd in, as the concept that I learned in health school, we crowd in more of the good stuff. What ends up happening is inevitably the bad stuff crowds itself out, but it's about us consistently crowding in the good stuff, whether that be movement, whether that be if you don't like going to the gym, okay, fine. Then start crowding in walking just 10 minutes a day. And over time, you might say, okay, I can up that ante. Let me make it 15 this week. And you up the ante. Well, you know what? Next week, the week after next, I'm going to go for 20. And the more you keep doing that, just crowding in the good, the same way because we're talking about all 4 pillars. Nutrition is just one aspect of what will allow us to eradicate the metabolic illnesses that we see, especially in our community and specifically as women of color. Because we're on the top of the totem pole for heart attack, for stroke, for diabetes, for obesity. We're at the top of the food chain on that, and we don't want to be at the top of the food chain.
Not on that one.
That's not the food chain we want to be at the top of.
Right.
Shalita, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Okay.
hear you. Now,
Perfect.
Shalita, I've seen, you really getting it in the gym. I mean, it's like you are the workout, the workout champ, the boss of working out. So what is that like? And recommending that, I know Sheba's saying, start slow, build yourself up. What's your take on that for those of us who may not be at your level because we know you're at boss lady level?
No, Ernette, I was never at the boss. I still don't feel like I'm at the boss lady level, to be honest with you. But I do agree with what Sheba says. Just take it slow, one day at a time. A lot of the clients that I work with are 70 to 75 years old. They can't, yes. It's funny because I did a little demographic kind of trend to see what my clients look like. And they're usually starting from 45 to 75. And they can't do those workouts. They can't go, running and picking up those weights and everything like, I may enjoy doing. But I tell them, hey, like Chipa was saying, just do a walk, go around the block a little bit. There's some things that you can do in your chair. We customize their plans based off what they can or cannot do. So I don't expect anybody to do that. However, as you move on, you're going to notice that you're losing weight. A lot of I'll say Black females because of color, because I know a lot that I've worked with, they're afraid to pull up weights or lift weights because they're like, I don't want to look manly. I don't want to look like a man, and I'm like, no, when I was losing weight, I was more of the fat is hanging, right? So what you want to do is tone it. I'm a believer on toning. A lot of times people can look at someone and say, somebody's 140 and another person's 140, but another person looks much more toner and wearing size smaller because of the inches that they lost and the tone that they have. So I am a believer that I go work out in the gym, not just for, just to go there, but I like to tone. I don't want those flappy bat wings in the wind. I just want, I don't want that in the wind.
She coming for us.
No, I want the Angela Bassett arms, so
yes.
y'all saw her in Wakanda. I was like, God dang. I mean, the girl, her arms are fabulous. So that's the reason why I tell most women, eventually, as you're losing weight, you're going to have to go in and do a little bit of, some weightlifting or I'll say a little good calisthenics to make sure that you can tone your body. That's it.
That's perfect. That's perfect. I mean, a toned body. I think I would like to have that.
I know I'm gonna have
You
that.
know, yeah, affirmation.
Affirmation. I am going
Affirmations.
to have a toned body.
I
So
am toned.
I am toned. That's
There
it.
you go.
I mean,
There you go.
that's it.
Claim it.
Mindset, like she said.
Claim it.
First.
and Shalita, I guess you're right. You know, I think about when I did your program, I'm definitely in my 50s and I'm approaching that big 60 in the next year or two. And my whole thing is I want to be fit. I want to roll into 60 where I'm not on any medications. I want to roll into 60 super fine. You know,
Yes.
I don't have to worry about my hips and my size and my clothes or, you know, wearing a size. I have worn, ever since I had my son, I have worn a size 14. So I am really working at getting down 2 sizes and staying there for the rest of my life.
Yes.
I don't want to gain any more weight. So I love food.
Mm-hmm.
I love really,
She
I mean,
loves. She loves.
okay. So and being a vegetarian, I was just a fat vegetarian because you know I love pasta and potatoes and things fried, and as long as it doesn't have meat, it's all good. But I didn't know it was affecting my blood pressure. I did not realize it was affecting my cholesterol. I had no idea. I just thought that because I was a vegetarian and I did eat a lot of vegetables and salads, not as much as I should be, I would be good. And so I have learned a lot in this last year with this high cholesterol that I'm facing now. So I am determined that I will not have to take anyone's meds. And so this is just the journey that I'm going to take. So along with us taking our measurements, we're also going to be looking at our blood pressures and our glucose numbers too, because that has got to improve. We're going to be getting older. And as we get older, those numbers need to stay at a, you know, a person that's 35 years old, right? You know, because who knows that we're going to be what that big, what 60? What the hell? What the hell? Oh my God.
So Flo, you know, we mentioned earlier that you are, you know, the hula hoop queen. You know, how does that work out, you know, for you? Are you still doing that? Are you still hula hooping? What's going on?
Yeah, I still do that because that's so easy for me. I'm 63, so that's easy. It's a way out for me for not to do anything else. But I know I need to do more. But as long as I know I'm doing 30 minutes of some sort of movement, because I'm sitting down right now, and if I was not on this call, if I'm sitting down in my office, they have a hula hoop in the office, I'll get up every 20 minutes or so and do 10 minutes of hula hoop or something like that, run around my office for a minute. So I'm moving, but I love that hula hoop because it's so convenient, so easy, and I can travel with it. So I usually take my hula hoop with me, break it down, put it in my suitcase, and when I get back to wherever I'm at, I put it right back on and start hula hooping again. So I love it, but I do need, you ladies, we need to put up, how can we contact you for your services? Definitely put that up there. And also, I just, you know, I'm listening to what everyone's saying, and what I'm hearing is this call, this podcast is about financial sense. And when I'm hearing what these two ladies are saying about how it has improved their health, they was able to lose weight, they're eating better, and guess what? When you're healthy, you're going to spend less money to your doctors and your hospitals, and you're eliminating money going in the wrong place. So, you know, that's a good thing. So we are financial sense. That's what this call is all about. And when you think about your health, at the same time, you're also working on your finances, believe it or not, because if you're not healthy and you get a little older and something happens, your money's just going to the hospitals, going to the doctors, And I feel as we get older, we should not be going to the doctor every, go once a year like we should. But, we get older, we end up in the doctor's office every 2 weeks. We're in the office. We had a stroke. We had something happen to us. So eliminate the bad health. You don't have your money going to the doctors, and you don't have your money going to the hospitals. So I appreciate what you ladies are sharing with me. And Miss Lady over here, Sheba.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
heard a magic number.
Yes.
I believe that number.
It is true. It is true. And I'm excited that I made it.
How old is the youngest one?
My youngest one is 12, and my oldest she just turned 29 this year, and I have everything in between.
Oh, you started when you was 11. My goodness. When I heard that number, you look fabulous, and happy birthday to you as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then to have your children to start on the same system you are, starting them out health-wise. And when you think about that, you started them off health-wise, and just think if we can get all of our listeners doing another thing, not only starting your children off health-wise as far as eating and consumption, but also starting them off health-wise with their finances.
Yes.
So we learn to teach them two things: eat healthy and save some money. And then you'll be able to live a long, glorious life.
Exactly.
Thank you I appreciate you ladies being here and sharing this great information.
Come on, Mom.
Thank you for having us.
So as we talked, my mom just popped in and said hello. I think she did. And she said something about one day at a time. And, so of course my mother is older, hi, Mom, an increase as comfort level increases. Absolutely. Absolutely. And, we talk about health and wellness for those who are older, and approaching that. Now, Shalita, you've worked with older clients. Okay, she'll be right back. Sheba, do you also work with older clients, and kind of what do you advise, older clients, like someone like our mothers, and trying to get fit? What do we say to them?
Because, that are active.
Who need to get them active.
They already active.
Exactly.
That they're definitely coming from a different place as far as eating. Like as we get older and we introduce different types of foods and ways to eat, to our parents. What do you say to those ladies and gentlemen, actually?
Yeah. Well, interestingly enough, Shalita and I have very similar demographics. Most of the women that come to us range anywhere from about 40 to about 65. And so with that, it's kind of really the same thing. And it's interesting that you're talking about older people. I'm older, more mature.
Yes. I love that, because we are all mature.
That's a conversation that I constantly have with my mother. And my mother is 79. She'll be 80 in 2023. And I always share with my mother that she is probably the healthiest 79-year-old woman that I know. The biggest thing for her is the weight. And she's been making adjustments. And one of the things as it relates to, our mature women in particular, one of the things that I find that tends to be really a mindset thing more than anything, is that women from a certain generation sometimes don't feel like they can be advocates for their own health. What do I mean by that? When they go to the doctor, and I see this over and over again whenever I go to the doctor with my mom, which is why I make it a point that when she goes to her doctor's office, I'm going to, because, they're not going to just shove things down your throat, and what happens is when she goes to the doctors, a lot of times they just take at face value whatever the doctor says. If the doctor says this is what you have going on, we're going to give you some pills, they take it. Not understanding that, again, something as simple as lifestyle choices and lifestyle changes can put them on a better road so that they can get off whatever the medication that they're on. And so the first part, for that, especially and this is just what I found when speaking with older women in particular, is just making them aware that they have permission, if you will, to be advocates for their own health. They don't have to take at face value what the doctor says, because there's so much information out here today to the contrary of what we have been told over time. And then the next thing is, again, it really is kind of like it really is kind of a one size fits all, Renetta. It's called make small changes every day. I share with my clients, when years ago when I did one-on-one clients, I primarily do group coaching now. But years ago in working with, my clients, I would share with them, they already know what to do. I'm sure Shalita can attest to the same thing. Y'all already know what to do. It's just a matter of being able to have someone that you can be accountable to. And that's really what makes the difference for most people. And that's the thing that I know in our community, it is the reason why the women that follow us because of the community. And when you have partnership like what you and Tanya are doing, the statistics even say that the both of you are more apt to get the result that you're wanting to get, because the two of you are doing it together versus if you were doing it alone. And so, that's another thing that, again, like I said, these kinds of things are kind of like a blanket approach. So even just putting yourself in environments, like my mother works out now. So she has put herself in an environment of other seniors who are on the same path as she is. And because of that, she's making more of a stride that, hey, I'm going to take care of myself. And it's working. She's losing weight. Although she's on blood pressure medication, I hadn't helped her believe yet that she can get off that medication, but I'm working. I'm working on that, because there is, again, in that mindset, there is a belief. And again, going back to, our more mature, ladies and gentlemen, there is a belief that once I get on this medication, I can't get off of it.
That's
and
right.
That's an education that has to happen, to say, yes, you can.
Limited belief.
It's possible.
It is. So, Shalita, you have a program, and we want you to share that with our audience. What you have coming up. I know that Renetta has just joined it. I'm not sure if there was a cutoff, and wanted you to share that with us today.
Well, thanks so much. I'm so sorry for the technical issues today, but ladies, yeah, I do. I have this program is ongoing. I typically try to help people as much as possible. I have group clients as well, so I try to get them in like as many as possible in one group setting. So even if I have like maybe 15 or 20 people that sign up all at once, we'll just do it the next Monday. So it's continuously adding people on, everybody at their different journey. And the reason why I do that is just so as many people as I can. My goal and objective has always been, I have a story to tell, but there's somebody else that needs the help and they need their story to be told as well. So if each one can grab the next person and help somebody out, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get as many people as possible and let them know that they can do this too. I love that Sheba was talking about the mindset piece again, but the limited beliefs that people tell themselves, that we were just talking about, Renetta, about, where people saying, I can never do that. I won't get off of these pills and this stuff. It's just limited beliefs that you keep telling yourself over and over again. And I'm with you, Sheba. We're going to do whatever we can to enlighten them, to let them know that they can do that. You can be 70 years old on menopause and lose 80 pounds. I have clients that have done it, that have done it. And the other piece of it is, a lot of people think that, I got to work out a lot. You do not have to work out. It's your eating habits. I'll say 98% of what you put in your body is what's going to be shown. You don't even have to, even if you didn't never went into the gym and you just ate better and cleaner, you were going to see results. You're going to lose weight. So I always tell people that try to always, say, well, I'm going to work out. I'm going to burn off this donut. Ma'am, you're not going to burn off that donut. It's never going to happen. So just do what you can, eat better, focus on the eating in the kitchen first, and then you're going to see some amazing results in your body. So yeah, we got something going all the time. Tanya, to answer your question all the time. Always excited to have new people on board.
Awesome.
Ooh, I just want to say that take that snippet of what Shalita said. Is the saying that says you can't outwork a bad diet.
A bad diet. That's right.
Never heard that before. Can't outwork a bad diet. Wow.
But I think you guys are absolutely right, because Tanya and I were doing better and just walking. We weren't doing any intense exercising.
Nope.
But we were consistent in our walking and being more aware of, as Shalita's saying, of what was going in. And so I think that combination of those things is awesome. Now we're at the point where we need the accountability, and I think, and we're excited to do that. We're excited to be on, this journey. We're excited to lose the weight. We have different weight goals. But, I think you guys are right, as you're saying, partnering with someone, having that accountability, the affirmations, Shalita, I love that when I sat down and did those affirmations and then actually repeated them back to myself over 2 days, and it's 10, and right. Repeating those affirmations and connecting to, yes, this is me, and this can be me is so very important. Right. Because we talk about speaking life, and part of all of this is about speaking life and speaking positivity into ourselves.
Right. Absolutely.
Can I say something real quick with Matt Flo? I'm looking at your info right there, but you were talking about finances. And the other piece I think is very helpful that people need to know is that, and this is other unlimited belief, that you have to expend a lot of money to eat healthy. That is not true. That is not true. There are so many ways, and I show our clients how they can save on money and doing that. Well, during COVID, a lot of people lost their job. A lot of my clients had to pay to become in the program, but they couldn't, buy a lot of the foods there. They're trying to get the organic. And I'm like, girl, here's what you should do. Go here, try this place. Look, you don't have to get the fresh fruits. Try one of the frozen fruits. Okay. The frozen fruits. Hey, look, the Dollar Tree got some frozen food. Look at the ingredients on the back of the Dollar Tree stuff. They got some for $1.25. There are so many ways you can eat healthy on a budget too. So you can also save with finances, which I love that you have this every Friday, Financial Sense, because there is a way that you can eat healthy, look amazing, and also save money while doing it.
I'm so glad you said that, Shalita, because that is one of the biggest myths that's out here, is that it's expensive to eat healthy. And I always like to share this with people. Let's put that into perspective. In terms of costs, is it more costly to have invasive surgery than it is to go to, even if you go to whole paycheck food? Which one is more costly? I mean, it's like we really have to put that cost thing into perspective,
Right. Yep. You either go to the doctor a whole lot or to the hospital, or go to the grocery store and get you some fresh fruits and vegetables.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that, Tanya. I like that. That's awesome.
And when you think about how the doctors, not the doctors, but employers are working at things now, maybe it started maybe 15 years ago when they work more towards preventive medicine. So they'll give you an opportunity to go to the doctor for preventive care. Get your checkups, no charge, because they know that if they could get you in the habit of doing something to prevent something before it happens, they'll spend less money on you with the insurance. So, we look at your health plays a big part in that preventive care.
Absolutely. Okay, ladies, we are wrapping up. And what we'd like for you to do is share with us how people can reach you if they want to get more information. So, Sheba, go ahead and tell us about, you can tell us about your next program and then how to reach you.
Okay. So you can contact me directly, and I'm just gonna give everybody my phone number. You can contact me directly at 678-508-7474. You can email me at info@sisters, that's with an S, speak wellness. So that's SISTERSpeakwellness, sisters at info@sisterspeakwellness.com. And those are the two best ways. If you have with the phone number, texting, I respond immediately to text. And also, with email as well. And what we have coming up for January, as part of our week, so we have a wellness club, and as part of our wellness club, in our wellness club and just in general, we do three different, we do 2 seasonal detoxes a year. I mean, 2 seasonal cleanses a year, and we do 1 detox. And so coming up in January is our 7-day detox. And this one is, it's online, but we really we focus on this particular one. We're focusing on supporting the 3 main organs that already have their job to help us clean our body, which is our kidney, our colon, and our liver. And so we focus on those particular organs. In addition to that, particularly with this particular detox, we really do focus on the seats of emotion that each one of those organs hold. And I know Shalita probably can talk more about that as well. And so in this particular detox, each day, each couple of days, we focus on some very specific exercises that address the seat of emotion for each one of those organs. In addition to, we use very specific foods that we know that are designed to help in support of cleaning those particular organs. And that's a 7-day detox that we do to kind of start the year off right, if you will, and then go from there. And something else that we have, it's in the works, but I'm so excited about it. I got to share about it. Something else that we have in the works. It's actually going to be more fall of next year, but Sisters Speak Wellness is doing our very first wellness retreat. And I am so excited. I'm so excited about it.
We went on the very first wellness retreat.
Yes, we did.
Because it's going to be amazing, amazing, amazing. It's going to be, part detox retreat, part pampering retreat. And however, because we're limiting it though, it's going to be a very intimate setting, because we have a lot of things in store. One of the things that we get questions about from the ladies in our community is about, like, after the detox, okay, like, how do I continue? Like, what do I cook? How do I do this? And so the facility that we're looking to have this is going to allow us to be able to literally show you step by step how to do those things and send you home like ready to go.
Awesome.
So it's going to be in October. And like I said, I am so excited. That's coming up.
All right.
Great.
So, Shalita.
Yes. So tell us about what you have coming up. I know your consulting firm does more than health and wellness as well. So tell us what you'd like to know about what your consulting firm does and what you have coming up.
Thank you for saying that, Renetta. My consulting firm really includes, like I said, health, wellness, fashion, and travels. So I love, if you guys follow me on Shalita.Gray on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram at Coach Fit Lita, and also Lita Bonita on Instagram, and I do a lot of I do fashion, so I love that. But also, what I'm really honing on is, of course, the health and wellness piece of it. But I'm really getting into people actually leaving out of their homes and doing something for themselves. A lot of self-care, and that includes traveling. For the past 6 months, I've been actually on an adventure. And I've been traveling to places remotely and working as a remote worker from all locations over the world. And it's been a blast. And I've done it without spending a lot of money. So I'm showing women how to do that, how to travel abroad, how to get their accommodations pretty much paid for, and also be able to work remotely and eat healthy while they're working remotely. So it's all, works together simultaneously. But they can reach out to me on shalita.gray or shalita.gray on Facebook, Instagram. Like I said, Coach Fit Lita, Instagram Lita Bonita. And then also a messenger is huge. I think Ronetta reached out to me in Messenger. I'm very responsive there as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we are going to say thank you so much for you all being with us today. This was so awesome. And we are going to be getting started. And so to our friends and family that have been with us, we ask you to join us, watch us, see, and then, join our coaches, because we're going to be showing them off and talking about them as we're going through this process. So hopefully we're going to bring y'all some more business too, because that's just what we do. Yes. And then next week, we're going to have a total different subject, because we're getting prepared for 2023. What we're doing right now is 2023. We know everybody's going to come in with all of these New Year's resolutions. And so we want to work on that right now, getting our diet and bodies together. And then the next thing that we worry about or concerned is taxes. And so next week, we're going to have a conversation in reference to taxes and the things that business owners may need and the things that people may need to know in reference to getting that prepared. So again, ladies, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Tanya Scott Pilcher, your insurance professor, and I'll see you next week.
I'm Ronetta Gardner. I am your career coach. And as I always say, ladies, make it a great day. Take us out, Mad Flo.
Take care, ladies. Thank you.
Flo, we can't hear you.
And it's counting down. This is Mad Flo, making a difference for life of others through financial literacy. Ladies and gents, thank y'all for joining us today. And just like Tanya and Ronetta said, next week we're having a fabulous, not fabulous, but madvelous day next week to share with you guys next week. So we'll see you next week. Thank you for joining. Share, ATR.
Bye.
I like that.